Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Nedbank Pitch and Polish. I'm your host, Subi Mboya Arnold. I'm so glad you've joined us because tonight is elimination night for our first ever all female group. It's go time. Eliminations are always a bit nerve wracking, even for me, and I'm not a contestant, especially when the first two pitches in the group were so strong. Two more female entrepreneurs will pitch their heart out tonight. Will they give last week's contestants a run for their money? I must say, I'm glad I'm not a judge because I think they really have their work cut out for them tonight. Our mission to grow South Africa's brightest business talent through Nedbank Pitch and Polish is shared by some incredible partners. Nedbank and their unwavering commitment to support entrepreneurs, Raise Corp's expert mentorship, and the Business Exchange with their world-class spaces. We couldn't do it without you. Tonight, our last two Blue Group contestants are stepping up to the mic for their shot at the first prize with an incredible 1 million rand. First up is Nontsikelelo Mokoena of TamRex Holdings from Gauteng, and she'll be telling us about her brand, Taltema. Let's see how she does in the pitching arena. Good luck, Nontsikelelo.
Good morning, judges.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
Good, good. Tell us about your outfit.
So I am proudly dressed in Taltema. We are a modest fashion brand, and this is what we make.
Okay. And are you ready to pitch?
Yes, I am.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pitch and polish.
Good morning, judges. My name is Nontsikelelo, and I am from TamRex Holdings, and I'm proudly dressed in Taltema. Taltema is a modest fashion brand that has a following of over 500,000 across platforms. Taltema has modernized the traditional head wrap. Ours is comfortable, stylish, and slips on in seconds. Our dresses are premium quality, and they are the perfect blend between modesty culture and fashion. At Taltema, we produce everything in-house, source our fabric locally, and we sell directly to our customer. 90% of our sales come from online, and the demand is coming in from all over the globe. Currently, we're receiving orders for about 500 pieces per week, and the numbers are rising. We were established in February 2024, and at the end of our first financial year, which is February 2025, we closed with revenue of 4.3 million rand. With only 3 months into the new year, we've already reached 3 million rand in revenue. We're currently failing to keep up with demand, and we desperately need to increase capacity. With this prize money, 70% of it is going to go into increasing our production capacity. We're going to invest in machinery and a bigger warehouse, and the other 30% is going to go into establishing retail outlets in the 3 major cities in the countries, because that is where most of our demand is coming from. So judges, join us and become part of Africa's next biggest fashion powerhouse.
Good timing, good timing.
Thank
All
you.
right. Yes, I've got 2 fashionistas on either
I
side.
can see.
Yeah.
They look beautiful.
Let's start with this side.
Yeah, thank you. Nontsikelelo, thank you. I love your outfit.
Thank you.
And I just love how passionately you came across about your business.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations on your first year's revenue. That's quite something to make a 4.3 million in 1 year, and already 3 million in the next, in 3 months. But so here's my question to you. Why, your outfit is lovely, but what is the barrier to entry? What will stop once people start seeing your success, what will stop other people from making the same outfits that you are making, or similar, or copying your outfits?
That's a very good question. Already there are people already trying to copy, but one thing about Dolthema, we've built a really good brand and a community. Our marketing is our strong point. Like I mentioned, we have a following of over 500,000, and people have now grown sort of like an emotional attachment, and they understand our story and what we stand for. It's like the same reason why people keep buying at Coca-Cola, even though there are other brands that sell cold drink. We are now known for the quality that we serve, for the story that we serve. We've built a connection with our community, and that's actually a key focus that we make in ensuring that we keep building the story and the brand, so people fall in love, and not just the clothes that we sell, but also the story and the brand and what we stand for. That's what sets us apart from everybody else. But also another thing, we are in the process of patenting some of our key main products. Like I mentioned in the beginning, that like we have sort of modernize the traditional head wrap. There's a piece called the Queen Set, which is one of like our first very unique pieces that we came up with. We're gonna get those patented so that they're not easily duplicated, because it is quite a very unique design.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you just tell me a little bit more about your brand story? Because you're saying that's what sets you apart. What is the brand story? What is it that people are falling in love with in your brand? What is that story?
Okay, so firstly, it's the fact that modesty is the story of modesty. I am young, I'm 23 years old, but I've always just had such a deep love for modesty and fashion. And I began this business in my living room. And the day that I started it, I started sharing that with on social media. And some of the people who have been following us have been following my story of sharing modest fashion. Before I even started with the business, I was sharing modest outfits on social media. So I've sort of become the key person of influence for the business, and people love the story of a young woman like myself who is in love with modesty and is actually who built this business from nowhere to now where we are today. So people just, yeah, it's modesty, the love of it, and just especially in this day and age where it is so fashionable to be trendy and in a miniskirt, it's refreshing to see, a young person who has style and class, because modesty has a bad rep in the public eye that when you're too modest, you don't look good enough. And this narrative that you can be modest,
I think that
African, and
answer is too
beautiful.
long.
Sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Would you like to ask a question?
Yeah, I love your fire, and I love that you are representing the Nedbank green. So,
Very
so you've come a
strategic.
little bit closer. Tell me, so you say that 90% of your sales come from e-commerce.
Yes.
One of the other things that I love about your business is I see that you are constantly investing monies
Yes.
that come through, which I think is fantastic. The transactions that come through from PayFast, those are primarily the e-commerce side, right?
Yes.
Okay. What are you going to do to remain competitive on the e-commerce side?
Well, okay. Firstly, like we are actually very much invested in ensuring that we are up to date in terms of like the new systems that come up in terms of our Shopify, which is the platform that we're currently using, right? And in the e-commerce space, there's constant improvement, constant bettering, and also ensuring that our online marketing, which is what gets us to reach people that are not just close enough in order to buy from us. That's where we really hone in. We're very consistent with our online marketing, and we are also very up to date with the changes that are coming up in the e-commerce space. And we have a very good relationship with the courier companies that we work with. Yeah, I'm not sure if I answered your question.
You did. And how many staff do you have at the moment?
Directly, I have 6, but indirectly, 15.
Indirectly, how does that
Like
work?
our tailors are at the moment, they are not necessarily employees in my payroll. They work according to, wages to the work that is done during that
The
particular
contractors.
time.
Or
Yes,
contractors?
yes.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Nontsikelelo, quick answers, please.
Yes,
Who designs?
me.
Tolthema.
Yes.
How did that name come about?
So initially, I wanted the name to be very African. Thema means queen in a Ghanaian language. And then the doll is just a twang for tall. So it means tall queen, not tall in height, but tall in confidence, which is exactly what we do.
Your production, I understand now, the 6 people that you say work directly for you, they're not in production. It's the...
Yes, then operations. So we have a store unit, and also since 90% of our sales are online, a lot of work goes into packing, quality checking, and making sure that things are shipped out on time.
So those tailors, are they individuals or are they small CMT outfits, cut, make, trim outfits?
They
Are
are
they small
individuals.
factories?
The factory is ours, so they're individuals.
Okay. Okay. And your decision to go retail when online is working so well, why would you do that?
There is a great need for people to touch and feel the product. Our target market is women between the ages of 35 going upwards, and people love, especially with clothing, a lot of people still love to try on the clothing, and it also does a great deal with like the brand when people get to come in and experience and actually see that, okay, you're real and the quality is amazing and I love it. So we've gotten quite a high number of like walk-ins and traffic and actually over-the-counter purchases. So we think that's also a market that is still very viable and we could tap into.
Nontsikelelo, you may leave.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
So I liked her. She's the first one that actually finished on time.
Yeah,
I mean,
brilliant pitch.
I think her product is clearly nice. But so poised, confident, well-spoken, and business is 1 year, thriving. My only worry is, like I said, fashion is all copycats. She didn't, she's the sole designer. Because, I was hoping that she would say that she's, because it's in the design that's going to lead to longevity and to maintain those sales at that level, or breaking out into different, whatever. So she needs to be, in my view, investing in the design capability and just researching trends and where it's going and all of that. So that was and I'm worried. That's really, if the trend continues where she's made 3 million in sales in the first 3 months, she's looking at, if it's sustained, about 12 million sales. So from 4 million to 12 million, that's outsized growth. And that brings a whole range of issues from an execution point of view, delivery, Yeah.
But then why aren't you bringing your tailors in-house then? Because therein lies a risk, right? If the fashion industry is copycats, then you are now outsourcing these products to tailors. Why aren't you bringing the tailors in-house?
You see, I think her advantage now is that if she's online, she's got the 500,000 and growing following community, as she puts it, and she's putting out these brands. So even if I had to copy, I have to build the following first.
But 500,000 followers is no small feat.
Yeah.
In 1 year.
In 1 year.
Yeah.
I think she's got a thing on that modesty.
Yes.
On that modesty story, young yet modest yet beautiful, because I think there is a market for that. It's niche. I don't know, but if she were to continue feeding that story, and I think she's onto a thing. But for me, once again, it's in the design. She's got to stay fresh in the designs, new and different, so that nobody can really copy her. As soon as they start copying her, she's onto another thing, onto another thing, differentiator.
But I think she'll do that. I think
Right?
she will.
You think she will?
Yeah, I think she will. Yeah, she's not gonna. She won't go down without a fight.
No, I love her. She's a fireball.
Yeah. All right, let's get scoring.
You look like a goddess, Nontsikelelo. How was it out there?
Thank you. I feel like God spoke through me because I was so nervous in the beginning. I thought I wouldn't be able to speak, but I think I managed.
Once you get past the beauty, I think the judges were really interested in your story, and you're very proud of that story.
Yeah.
Just tell us a little bit, 30 seconds about that story.
We started in my living room, and in just only 12 months, we have built a production warehouse. We've moved 2 storefronts, and we've built a community that is so large and so passionate. So Dolthema is bigger than just me. It is about to be the biggest thing modesty has ever seen in Africa.
What was one of the toughest questions that the judges posed to you?
Oh my God, did I even remember? I've lost my memory.
I can believe you. I do believe
Sure.
you. But where do you think and how far do you think you'll go in this competition?
I think I'll win.
And I leave it at that. From your lips to the creators' ears.
Amen.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
You're
much.
wonderful. You're lovely.
Thank you so
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
What a pitch. Nontsikelelo looked absolutely stunning up there. The judges thought so too. And she's clearly a great storyteller with an impressive 4 million rand turnover and 500 items sold each week. It's no wonder they see huge potential. Next, we hear from Vanessa Snyman from Vez Technology, another entrepreneur from Gauteng. Let's see how she handles the heat in the arena. Over to you, Vanessa.
Hi, Vanessa.
Hello, judges.
How are you feeling today?
Petrified. Very nervous.
But you're ready.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Vanessa, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pitch and polish.
South Africa is running out of time and water. With crumbling sewage systems, rapid urbanization, and 39% of our municipal wastewater treatment systems in critical condition, we are facing a 332 billion rand sanitation crisis. But what if the solution didn't start with government, but with us? Hello everyone, I'm Vanessa Snyman from Vestec, and we manufacture an affordable yet practical solution, bioactive toilet paper, South Africa's first value-adding toilet paper. Our competitors are currently competing for shelf position based only on the price, softness and sheet count. We're offering something a little smarter. Toilet paper that eliminates bad odors, reduces blocked drains, and counteracts the growth of pathogens. We're currently selling on macro, and this demand is growing monthly, especially in Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal, and the Western Cape. Our B2B journey started with e-liquid, and with Green Tag certification coming soon, we plan to target all the Green Star eco-rated buildings. With a production capacity of over 10,000 rolls per shift, a gross profit margin over 40%, and a robust ISO 9000, 14000 and 45000 integrated management system, we are confident that scaling production will not affect our product quality. Winning the 650,000 will enable us to spend 5% on rebranding our current website, 28% on social media marketing, 37% on B2B marketing, and the remaining 30% we'd like to use to improve our current packaging process.
Vanessa, you've run out of time. Let's start with you, Monique.
Hi, Vanessa. Welcome.
Thank you.
I really loved your sense of humor on your pitch, the initial pitch that you sent through to us. It was like a breath of fresh air to me because it was the last one that I'd gone through in the pack. So well done on that. You mentioned now that you're doing one of your strategies is to target eco-rated buildings. What are you doing towards that? How have you tapped into that market?
So we haven't tapped in yet. We are first waiting to get Green Tag certification on our products. We're currently in process. And once we have the stamp of approval or the certificate, it makes us more confident to be able to go to them and say, but look, we're not greenwashing. This product really is green and it helps towards our sustainability goals.
And what does that certification cost you?
For 2 lines of products, it costs 38,000.
Is that not something that you'd want to use the funds towards?
We've already paid for it.
Okay.
So we're in the process of, we're busy auditing us in that sense.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Hi, Vanessa. I really love the concept. I've never heard anything like this, bioactive toilet paper. And I mean, it sounds like a dream come true. I mean, I think everybody would like toilet paper that masks odors and that is, almost waterless. So my question is, why isn't everybody snapping it up? If it is cheaper than other toilet papers and it is indeed not green, green as you say, why are you only limiting yourself to green buildings and not to all of us?
Good question. So we have two sectors. We've got a B2C sector and then a B2B market. In terms of B2C, we feel that we first need to create the demand by educating customers, and that would be essentially on marketing. And that's why we've now want to spend a majority of the money on marketing and getting the word out there. We've created a lot of traction without just organic traction on macro marketplace. But I would still say we're not the cheapest. And unfortunately, in a commodity such as toilet paper, price is king. Yeah. So if we amplify our marketing efforts, I believe that the product will be really a great seller.
Okay. So what are you most worried about right now in your business? What is the biggest risk that you're facing?
I think our biggest risk at this stage is, if I can say, not to be squashed by big competitors, because we're up against giants in this industry, and it is difficult to be able to keep up with them. They've got 10 lines, I've got one. So I do foresee that one of our biggest risks would be a capacity issue. But I don't think within the next 2 years that will become a problem, because we've already got another machine on its way. So yeah, maybe being squashed by and also the price does play a factor for many people, because it is not the cheapest one. We are competitively priced, I would say, towards your more premium brands, if I can answer it that way.
So can you expand on that? Just what is the price differential between this and a premium brand?
I would say we're marginally the same. If you compare it per price per roll, currently.
But you're not as soft, or you're not two-ply?
No, we've got a 1-ply variant and a 2-ply variant.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it is soft. It does
Yeah.
the job.
Yeah.
It's not a really hard paper. I can give you guys one to touch and feel it. This standard 24-pack retails for 194 Rand on macro currently.
Okay, then is there any, speaking about the big guys, are there any patents protecting you from them?
So we've localized an internationally patented application. The actual patent or the secret sauce lies in the 5-strain bacteria that is added, that we apply to the toilet paper during the converting process, and that is internationally patented, and we have sole distribution rights for SADC territory.
When looking at your financials, there's been a huge investment to get you here.
Yeah.
I was surprised that when Nkubela asked you what's keeping you up at night, it wasn't, keeping the lights on. So what's the plan to see yourself through that valley of death, so to speak?
So for the next 2 years, all we want to do is build our brand and do that with extensive marketing, okay? Then obviously tap into the Green Star buildings. But then after we've established our brand firmly in South Africa, we would like to target or export the treated jumbo rolls and launch a bioactive toilet paper franchise model, but only for the smaller converters in the SADC countries. Because as a small converter, we know how difficult it is to be competitive in an industry like that.
What does converter mean?
So the toilet paper manufacturer.
Okay.
So basically you buy really big jumbos and you convert that into toilet paper rolls.
Okay. All right, Vanessa, I think we've heard enough. Thank you for your pitch. You may leave.
Thank you.
Sure. She's a bundle, eh?
Yeah, she seemed very nervous, I
Yeah.
thought.
She's very
A little
nervous,
bit
yeah.
nervous. Yeah, she said she was petrified, and I think she really was. I don't think she did enough justice to her product. I mean, I think it really is an innovative.
It's
amazing.
amazing.
It's amazing. I don't even think if it really, does mask odors, is waterless or almost waterless, as she says. They don't. Social media would be the right platform to market it. And when TikTok, she could go viral on TikTok, and I don't know how much that costs, but that's instead of investing like on traditional advertising, that would be a way to go.
Yeah, so, if you think about it, I understand the converters. It feels like everyone buys the rolls from the same source. and then they repackage it. Right, that's what it feels like. I don't know if that's true, but she's got an additional cost, which is to add that chemical into
Into it, yeah.
into it that
Antibacterial, whatever.
yeah. So she's got
5 strains of bacteria.
yeah, she's got that additional cost when you're in a cost environment. Yeah,
I think it's a brilliant product, though. Really is. If it really is bioactive like that, I think it's a brilliant product. If you think of our own sanitation infrastructure challenges,
Exactly.
infrastructure challenges in SADC, you know,
I
third
mean,
world countries, like
schools,
I think it can blow.
schools, hospitals, tourism from small, I mean, you know, whatever. And then homes also,
Yeah, homes.
people's homes, you know, and whatever.
yeah. I think also I like the idea around the corporate green buildings, because
Yes.
if she can get points for that, then it completes that whole green building story. And corporates wouldn't be as price sensitive. They'd rather tell the story, you know, and there's more and more green buildings going up.
Yeah, even offices,
Yeah,
retail
yeah.
offices, you know.
What's been brilliant about the businesses this year is all of them have had that measured growth.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm going to take over the world now. It's I mean, she's doing well, and she clearly says next steps is marketing. Need to get the B2C piece up, which is big, but then from a B2B perspective, it's the green buildings. I like that. It's structured, it's clear. It's not I'm going to take over the world. And then also the converters.
Yeah. All right, let's get scoring.
Shake it out, just shake it out. I know, ek weet, die stress, gaan uit. How you doing, Vanessa?
Good. I thought I was going to die up there. I just kept remembering my watch was going crazy.
The heartbeat.
Breathe. But I made it, and I think it went really well.
We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
I hope that the worst is out of the way. What do you hope?
Well, yeah, I think the worst is out the way. I did my best. We'll see how it goes. My guide was fantastic. I could hear him speaking in the back of my mind. Remember this, breathe.
Tell us a little bit more about that relationship.
Oh, it's just been a wonderful journey since we started. The mentoring we've received, the guidance, the tips, the tricks, they've really helped me to get to, you know, if you see where I started and where I am now, it's just been a roller coaster of emotions, but we made it, and I feel positive.
The one takeaway from your first pitch, what's the one takeaway you're gonna carry through the competition with you?
Just breathe. It's all right. Just breathe, deliver your story, sell your story, be honest, be open. And that's a winning pitch.
Come here. All the best.
Thank you.
A bioactive toilet paper that helps unclog drains. What an innovation. I mean, we haven't seen anything like that in the competition before. But has Vanessa done enough to go through to round 2? Let's go chat to the judges to see if I can figure out who they're sending home tonight. Hello, judges.
Hello.
Welcome, Judge Nontsikelelo. Hello, Judge Alon. Hello, Judge Monique. So that was the blue group, all women. I'm feeling energized and excited. So let's start. Judge Nontsikelelo, with Colleen. And she was sweethearts. I love the fact that you asked her the question about her competitors and how she knows she's the only one in South Africa. Why is that important for an entrepreneur to know?
No, I just think it's important to validate your market,
Yes.
you know, to know what sets you apart and, you know, what gives you the authority to be in that business. So that's what I was just trying to flesh out from her.
Judge Monique, our second contestant, Maria, what keeps you up at night? That is such a powerful, insightful question. Why do you ask that of entrepreneurs?
I think it's important for entrepreneurs to know that when they're pitching or when they are approaching anyone for funding or for guidance of any sort, they need to be authentic. So don't come with the fluffy story, the pretty story that you think people want to hear.
Yeah.
We understand that the needs and challenges that businesses have are deep. And so be authentic and raise it, because it's through raising it that we can actually assist you.
It's the grit that's the glory.
It's the grit that's the glory, absolutely.
Judge Alon, for Nontsikelelo, the beautiful goddess of Africa, retail versus online, online versus retail, why is that important to you to ask when selling your product?
Well, I don't think it's one versus the other.
Yeah.
I think in her stage, where she's right now, she's 1 year in, going into a second year, she's experiencing high growth, and then now she's going to have another channel. I think strategically it's the wrong thing to do,
Okay.
and it's going to create more pain for her than pleasure.
Okay, final question, and I'll send it right back to you on our final contestant, and that is Vanessa. You asked the patents, protecting yourself against other competitors. Why should she know that answer at this stage of the competition?
Well, in business, we
Yeah.
don't like competition.
Yeah.
People who say competition makes us stronger, it might be true, but the truth is, when you are a small business that's trying to find a niche,
Yeah.
you don't want competition. You want to have a moat to protect you until you're strong enough to fight competition. So I wanted to understand that she's got a strong enough moat to protect her.
Judges, you're keeping the cards very close to your chest. I cannot read any body language. I don't know who your favorites are, who might be leaving. Any insights, any scoop that I can get from you at this point?
They were all really great. I mean,
Yeah.
from a concept point of view,
Yeah.
they all were very innovative. I mean, I loved date syrup. I loved the designer, the goddess, as you call her, and the modesty story. I mean,
Yes.
that's really fresh, as she said. And the bioactive toilet paper, I've never heard of anything like that. And then, I mean, plastic everywhere. So, yeah, let's wait and see.
Any favorites?
Yeah, two of them,
Elaborate.
straight after this.
Judge Monique, favorites?
All four. I love them. Woman in power.
Woman empowered. All right, coming up next, we get to see who stays and who goes home. Don't go away.
Hello, ladies. This is such a special round, really is a special round. You were all chosen randomly. You all put your hands in the bowl, and it's the first time in the 15-year history of Nedbank Pitch and Polish that we've got 4 ladies in front of us in a round. And completely random, and big ups to all of you. So that's the first first. The second first is that the judges wanted all of you to stay, but we can't. We can't make that first. So today we have to eliminate 2 of you, and oh, that's another first. We've never seen that. So let's start. I'm going to start from my right to left and move through. Nontsikelelo, your growth story is an amazing story. You know, given your age and 2 years in, that growth story is a phenomenal story. Your pitch was fantastic. You were confident. You delivered it with your whole personality came out. When you were asked about what's your differentiator, what's your brand story, you didn't think about it. You jumped straight to answer that. That modesty was your brand story, and you know, we bought the story. Your product is there. You've dressed in your product, you know, and I have to say, it's an amazing product. And also your following, to have a following of 500,000 plus people across all your platforms is no mean feat to do that. So sure, all in all, things look very good. But there's a saying that more businesses die from indigestion than starvation. In other words, they die because they grow so quickly. And your growth is so quick that the judges are very concerned that you're actually going to implode through growth, because of growth. the complexity that will come from growth is something you are not experienced in, and we are deeply concerned about that. We looked at your margins in terms of your first year. Not that anyone expects the margins to be good in your first year, but we didn't understand how growth affects your margins. You didn't express that in your pitch. So you could have all this growth, if you're tracking 1 million a month or 3 million in your first quarter, you're talking about 12 million, but you could lose 1 million. We don't know. You didn't say, and that's going to result in 2 million rand profit. You missed that opportunity. Then I'm going to put my hand up for this. You heard it in the question around retail. Not only are you going to go from a 4 million rand revenue to a 12 million rand revenue this year, but you're also going to open up 3 retailers or 3 retail stores, which is going to take away your focus from fixing all the issues that are going to happen as you grow. So as an investor, that's what I do. I would be deeply, deeply concerned from a strategy perspective that that's not the right timing right now. I'm not saying it's not the right strategy in the long term. So negative points for you there. And the big fear, and this is hard to say, is due to your early success, our experience is that when you have success so early, that you don't listen to mentorship and to advice. And so that's not really, well, that's our perception. Maybe you will, maybe you won't, but our experience is that you won't. Having said all of that, you will be staying. Right, now let's go to you, Maria. Okay, Maria, you had a really, really great pitch. There's a deep authenticity in you, and there's a feeling that you understand this business, that you're a technical professional, like you know what you're doing. That came across very much in your pitch, and as you answered the questions, like you're a solid entrepreneur who knows what she's doing. And that's, from an investor perspective, that's something we look for. The fact that you're also looking for new markets and that you're looking, for example, the FMCG market, tells us that you want to grow. So those are all the positive. On the negative side, in terms of the pitch itself, you wasted too much time on telling us about the whole market and where the trend and recycling and green and all that. That could have been done very, very tightly. So instead of talking about the business and the margins and those kinds of things, which we wanted to get to, your differentiation wasn't mentioned in the pitch. We had to so Paul, so what's so different? It's a highly competitive market. What makes you special? That will always come out. What makes you special? It came out in the questions, but not in the pitch. I think the biggest thing there where we had issue with you was your relationship with debt and with money. And that could be you, it could be your father, it could be a story in the family situation about never owe people money, which is at a surface level, it's a very good thing not to owe people money. But in business, when you're growing, you have to have what they call a healthy balance sheet, where there is healthy debt to help growth. And if you use debt properly and underline properly, it can be a competitive edge because you'll move quicker to get the margins or to get those deals. But there's a deep fear around debt. And then your margins were not there. And after, I think it's 7 years in the business, your margins should be a lot better. So overall, Maria, the decision is that you will be going. You may leave. All right, now, which of the two of you are staying and which of the two of you are going? Let's start with, I'm going to just move in the direction with Colleen. Let's just talk about your positive and negative. You are an entrepreneur. Just, you exude entrepreneurship. We loved it. We loved you as the individual. We feel that you are, you're very, very compelling. I love the fact that you produce products and that you're thinking about moving from producing the date syrup into products. In other words, you're creating your own market for your own product. I think that's a very, very clever strategy. And export, I think even today, given what's going on in this country in terms of where the rand is going, I think it's a great, great thing to be exporting. So from an investor perspective, big excitement about export opportunity, local product, etc. But what came across from the negative side was that your growth strategy is not clear. You didn't come out and say, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. It felt like we had to pull that out of you. And so you lost a lot of points from let's call it a clear strategy of where you're taking the business forwards. Your answers were too long, and so you wasted an opportunity for us to know more about your business. It also indicates that maybe you're fluffing something you don't know. So there's a tight margin between too long and too short. And I think you overstayed your welcome in certain answers, and I think I asked you to stop doing that. And then the real question that every investor wants to know is, what's the barrier to entry? So I watched this on Nedbank Pitch and Polish, and then I go, oh, I can do that too. And you didn't answer the question is why I can't copy you. It's because of what? They didn't come across strongly enough. Vanessa, let's move to you. The whole corporate strategy, we think is a great, great idea. And we like the fact that you've already invested the 38,000 to get that green certification. The product, I think, is a great product. We think it's a great product. But that's really all we had on the positive side. And of course, and your personality. So we can add that to the positive. Where you tripped up was you didn't explain the demand. So we didn't understand if there's a market for what you're selling. There's a lot of great products out there, and your product is great, as I've said, but maybe no one wants it. Like, it's just you and your family that think it's great, So you didn't get that across and say, here is the demand and here's where the future demand is coming from. That didn't come across strongly enough. And you didn't speak enough about, I hope I get this right, your 5 strains of bacteria or antibacterial, that was the big differentiator. And that didn't get a mention. It didn't, because that comes to the previous thing of what makes you special. Why can't I copy you? Because we formulated this 5 strains of bacteria that is patented. No one else knows. It's a secret sauce. We're the only ones in the world. That didn't come across very strong. So which one of the two of you is going to stay and which is going to go? The person, the entrepreneur who will be leaving Nedbank Pitch and Polish 2025 is Colleen. Colleen, you may leave. All right, that was really, I think, it was tough for you. I think it was more tough for us. It was really because we honestly wanted all 4 to stay. But you've heard some feedback here, and what's very important that you take that feedback. This is not pitching. This is not about your pitch. This is pitch and polish. This is about polishing what you've just done. Take that feedback, work with your guides, and come back with a better pitch which covers all the things that were brought up by the judges today. Ladies, you may leave. Well done.
A round of applause for Nontsikelelo and Vanessa. You're both incredibly inspiring entrepreneurs, and your businesses show huge potential. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to 2 really good contestants tonight, Colleen and Maria. These are not easy decisions, folks, but our judges know what they're doing. And there's a silver lining. Raise Corp has offered Colleen some additional support and guidance to help her continue on her journey. And to Maria, we know you'll keep building on what you've started and go on to do great things. I know eliminations are tough, so let's lighten the mood with our viewer competition. In case you need a reminder, one of you lucky viewers is going to win an impressive 5,000 Rand to spend at Avo Super Shop. Let me know if you need some help spending it, okay? Okay? Here's tonight's question. What product does Vanessa's business sell? What product does Vanessa's business sell? We'll need you to WhatsApp your name and answer to 071 802 6981 before midnight if you want to go into the draw. Once we've selected a winner, we'll reach out to them and post the names on social media in the week. And that's a wrap for tonight's elimination episode. Next week, Tuesday at 7 o'clock, we'll meet the first 2 contestants from the yellow group as we move closer to round 2 and naming our 2025 pitching champion. From me, Subimboya Arnold, I'll see you next week. Mwah!
So with my mentor and guide, he kept me calm. I love his calming way about him. I'm quite an energetic person, and I feel like he just brought that calmness over me.
I learned that I do have a strong business and I'm proud of my business, and that I'm resilient, and every single thing that Alon said, I'm going to take that home with me.